So many of us know that there has always been an agenda to break up the black family. Case in point, this particular sister here, she's going to touch on that, but I need to expand on this because people can have an agenda for you all day, but it's on you to participate in it. Let's roll that.
They're trying to plan us against each other. They're trying to do it by empowering women to make us feel so independent, like we don't need a man, when we really do, especially if we have kids. Now, those of you that don't have kids yet, you might not need a man just yet. But those of us that do have kids, we need a man, sis. We do. Our kids need a man. All right? They do. Very much so. But the system got us feeling like, whoop, whoop, whoop. Now we got all these feminine men. We got all these masculine women. This is what they wanted. And they winning. So strong men, salute. I respect you. I hope that and I pray that you find a woman that can let you lead and have some beautiful children for you. Whew, Lord, this is scary. For real. It really is.
You see, this deal in the black community, we have things backwards. And I'm pretty sure other communities could say, maybe agree on some things, but I don't speak on other communities because I have no knowledge of it. Neither am I trying to get knowledge of your inner relationships. Don't really care to. I'm gonna stay in my lane. Within the black community, when I say we have it backwards, we are having children and not having marriages. You understand? If we were to say, you know what, if I don't give her my last name, then I'm definitely not impregnating her. And if the woman say, if he doesn't give me his last name, I'm not sitting up there having a child with this man, we can prevent a lot of these issues and problems. Because how a lot of kids get, born is, a situationships, or you just with him for a little while and end up getting pregnant. Listen, you want to fool with people or do what you do, it's your personal life. But you know what it takes to prevent having a child. And you need to do that. Children need a mother and a father in the household, in a loving and committed relationship. That's how you raise proper children. Do you know children from two-parent households, even within the black community, have more advantage over those that grew up in a single-parent household? A lot of times children that come from two-parent households, they're reared in a good, healthy environment. They have higher economics to live on, better schools. They themselves do better in life. They have a lower chance of going to prison or having all kind of run-ins with the police that maybe kids from single-parent households will have to deal with. I mean, we give our kids the proper advantage when we stay together as a people. So, yes, we have to go back in time when the black family was stronger, especially during the civil rights movement. The reason why the civil rights movement happened and the reason why we had a lot of wins in that because the family was together. That's why the agenda happened to break up the black family. But somebody can have an agenda against you all day long, but you have to participate in it. And unfortunately, in our community, some of us have participated in the propaganda, participated in the I don't need a man, I can be strong and independent by myself. Some of you fell for the folly of a job coming from the folks would make you better. And now when you fast forward, now you have a lot of young women saying, yeah, that's not it. That's not it at all. And then the pandemic showed that the majority of the jobs, a lot of them are working, aren't essential to make society run. Remember, during the pandemic, only essential workers were working, only essential. And a lot of them did not have a job. Their paychecks was done. Then all of a sudden they were thumbing through them DMs all of a sudden on them dating apps, which I'm highly against men being on dating apps. But they were thumbing through there looking for these good job having dudes who were essential workers. And all of a sudden now they want to say, hey, big head. You understand? One thing that y'all have to realize is that family is way more important. Everybody out here talking about these podcasts and you got so many single people that never had a family trying to advise you on relationships. For me, I would say the majority of people that I look at today talking about relationships, I'm gonna say about 80 to 90% of them giving you the worst advice because they couldn't even tell you how to be in a relationship. And I'm talking about a marriage. They can't tell you about how to be in a family. They can't tell you really how to deal with kids, how to come together on money, how to come together about taxes, how to come together about, when you have different conflicting issues with maybe your family, her family. Like, they're not advising anything to y'all except something that's so basic. And that's why I'm like, how do people listen to that? I was like, 'cause they're not saying anything that's really going to help them. You got a bunch of single people advising single people, then you're going to keep the cycle of everybody being single or saying unrealistic things like you shouldn't be dating unless you're making $50,000 a year. Yet that woman that said that not even married. That's really my biggest thing. And I'm gonna tell you, when all that horrible advice came during the pandemic, because they shut down all them jobs, or at least the little money it was getting, the club promotions and all this. So everybody want to jump on the podcast now. They was not seasoned with this microphone, but they just started rambling at the mouth. But I always say, please think about who you're listening to. Let me say that, and talking to as well. Just think about it. Just a little bit. Now, unity is always a good thing. It's always a good thing. And we should aspire to unify in all aspects, not just in relationships, but just as a community, because we need to, especially what's going on in this freaking country. We better unify. And I would tell you this, y'all better start learning to be in relationships, because the way this country is going, being single is going to be a luxury. See, a lot of people in a lot of countries, that's coming to America, where you have to be in families to make it. Because being single, you'll be on the street and you'll be destitute. Trust me, we're at the door of that right now. Mark my words, you're gonna say, man, Phil said that a few years ago. Yeah, being single in this country is about to be a luxury. Them same little women you hear talking about, I'm happy by being by myself, they're gonna be the main ones looking for a man, because they're not gonna be able to maintain their lifestyle either. You better come together.